Welcome to the Fit Femme Project Alignment Podcast. It is here that we cultivate and gather all who have been through it in fitness, relationships, careers, lifestyle changes, and unforgettable crucial life pivots trying to achieve their most sovereign selves. We're here to provide you with thought-provoking, detailed stories and information from truly fascinating men and women from all walks of life, professions, generations, and modern-day sagas who speak to their rawest, darkest moments that made them the strong, decisive, humble, helpful, healing people that they are today. We ask them to hold nothing back because life is a multi-dimensional pursuit to be stronger, healthier, and more aligned mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Whoa. Sorry, bad start. Welcome back to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Sitting with me, as usual, is Coach Lindsay. Hi. Today, we are talking about the BFR method and why it's an absolute game changer for those who are Peri or slash perimenopausal women?
Perimenopausal, menopausal, yeah, just that whole kind of like,
Okay.
to be fair, this works for everybody. Of course, individualized, but especially for I find my particular age range is the group that is doing things so antagonistic to what will actually give them progress.
I had to mute myself because
I hear it.
No, that makes sense because I feel like it's a good group to speak to because they often feel like nothing works. It's over. This is my life now. I'm like my mom was in that place for a really long. She had a lot more going on, but in that place for a really long time of like one, not knowing what's going on, two, doctors being like, I don't care. Lady problems.
This is just it. This is your life. You're going to have belly fat. You're going to feel like trash. Just sorry about you. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Bye. It's
Yeah,
2024.
Have a good day.
Well, can you explain what BFR is first?
I would love to because it is my favorite thing. So BFR is the new body method that the FitFem uses to materialize results in our clients. And again, this is across the board, but BFR stands for bust it, feed it, rest it. And it is the three most, I'm not going to say only, but sort of only really important things that you can focus your time, attention, and energy on executing to get results, which is why women are here, is to see and feel the change that they want in their lives. The first one is bust it. And granted, a lot of women are busting it. They are busting it doing their group classes, their cardio. They're busting it sweating and closing their rings and hitting their MEPs and just wearing themselves out, tracking caloric burn and going to hit this number. And they're busting it in that way. But when we talk about busted, it's goal and person appropriate busted and is geared towards more of putting that intensity, that time, that energy, that focus into building your body up, into lifting weights in a way that's appropriate for you, depending on your ability, skill level, just what you're comfortable with at the time. And then progressively, like over time, overloading, lifting more or adding reps, staying on the same workout cycle, which is almost unheard of for most women, for like 4 to 12 weeks. And instead of using exercise as a way to entertain yourself or different workouts as a way to motivate yourself, we start wanting you to motivate and inspire yourself by actually getting results. actually seeing your body physically change and start to get some muscle. Because what happens, even when, um, you know, for women my age, I'm 45, but it starts about 35, and it's
Oh
not
no.
like, oh, some people, it's people, women especially,
Yeah.
start to experience that sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting. And it's just a natural part of aging. However, if you want your body to remain firm, and when you do lose weight, you just don't want to feel like a soft, massive jellyish, right? You just don't want to be like all soft and gooey, but just
Like a
smaller,
deflated balloon.
like a deflated balloon.
Yeah.
You are going to have to prioritize your muscle, preserving it and gaining it. And again, that is intimidating and uncomfortable for a lot of women. Again, especially my age that grew up aerobics, step classes, sculpt and burn, in all like the cardio, the Orange Theory, the F45, all these are
Yeah.
geared towards women because we are more comfortable in a group setting and we are intimidated by weights as a general rule. It's some form, or heavy weights, I should say that. We're fine picking up the pink dumbbells, but get real feel like a fish out of water to walk over to a dumbbell rack in the gym
Yeah.
and pick out the black ones, right? So addressing all of that again progressively over time, getting you comfortable, getting you taking up space happily, got reservation in the gym to do what you need to do to get your results. And whether that's fat loss, muscle gain, usually it's both, knowing how to periodize that and make the best of your efforts. So that's the busted part. That's the kind of busted we're talking about. And like I said, most women are already working hard.
Yeah.
It
Probably
needs to
too hard.
be probably too hard as far as movement and what you're
Exertion.
focusing on, exertion,
Yeah.
wearing yourself out, making sure you are super sweaty and exhausted, spiking your hunger and cortisol levels, all of the things, and then actually redirecting that intensity and energy to what will work for permanent change for you.
Amen. I remember when I was younger, I mean, I was in my 20s when I first started getting into the gym. So it's like really all ages. And I was comfortable in a group setting for a minute. And that's what got me into like, okay, I actually like exercising.
Right.
Like, there's stages of it. Yeah.
There's
um,
stages of it, but especially once again, after you're about 35, you have to accept that your body is going to change. And so if you still have physique goals and you still want to become stronger, you want to preserve that muscle, you want strong bones, you actually give a crap about longevity and lifespan and health span, you
yeah.
are going to have to change the way that you are doing things.
Yep, that's, as you know, that's always been my top priority. Sure, the physique is the short term, right?
It's a
Um,
benefit for sure, and it is very important to me
yeah,
as well.
yeah, but being able to not be in a wheelchair for at all ever, not
Yeah. Once you start
being or looking
experiencing
frail.
decline, you it
Yeah,
even becomes more important to you. And again, that's something that happens after for sure about 40, 45 is you start to experience some form of decline, whether that's it can be loss of libido, loss of energy level, injury, some other kind of health problem cropping up, diabetes, high blood pressure. It all
yeah,
starts being very reflective of the choices you have been making, and just to take a honest, wide berth look at that and say, my body has changed. What do I need to do to reflect that change in the most positive way for myself and my longevity?
that what you're saying reminds me of this Instagram post I saw a while ago. I come across it every so often, but it's just one of those text posts.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, if the benefits of exercise and like, weightlifting and stuff was in a pill form,
Oh yeah, heck yeah, I'd take it.
like if it was in a pill form, like one, how rich I'd be, and two, the amount of chronic problems, diseases, or whatever you want to call them, can't think of it right now, the amount of heart disease, diabetes, things like
Mm-hmm.
that, how that would just be nearly non-existent.
It would, because people will pop a pill. They'll stab themselves with a needle. They'll
Yeah.
do anything that does not require long-term effort. But to me, that's okay. That's okay because I will, and my people will. And I like that you can't buy the benefits of training and good nutrition.
Yeah.
You can't, and you never will be able to. You can't buy it, you can't manufacture it, you can't fake it. That is actually what is so attractive about it to me personally, because I will always put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes some time to, fall in love with that and getting it to that point.
You don't
I
have to fall
agree.
in love with it. You can fall in
Well,
love with getting what you want, and everybody wants
that's what I'm
to
saying.
get what they want. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
takes a
But
while
the
to
process.
accept the true methods. It's
Yes, there
not
it is.
it's not a if. You can take as long as you want to accept it. It'll just be
Yeah.
there waiting on you when you're done, when you tired and tired of wasting your money. It'll
Yeah.
just be there.
It'll be there. All right. What's next?
Feed
Feed.
it. So
That's the
again,
best
I'm
part.
gonna I'm gonna relate most of this podcast to, again, it is broad spectrum, but what we're talking about today is more of perimenopausal, menopausal, and again, it is less is more, making sure that you eat as little as possible, because with the goal of fat loss, we know that's what it is. It leads to massive restriction in food groups, labeling foods as good or bad, dirty or clean, should not, cheat foods, cheat days, and all of these just really unhealthy and unhelpful mindsets and habits surrounding food, and it don't work anyway. Is the bottom line. Like, if you could just be truly unhealthy and not do things right and get results, like, yeah, pick your poison. But it just doesn't work anyway, and you're going to come to a point where you're going to have to, like, undo all those thoughts about it to do really get that sustainable change. And going back to the busted, where we are in the gym and we're like, okay, I'm going to have to concentrate on muscle. That is going to be my focus of my workouts, not caloric burn, not fat burn, not making sweat is my fat crying trash. My workouts are going to be focused on gaining lean muscle mass and progressively overloading and improving those numbers. Then we have to feed it, because what you're doing, if you are under eating, especially protein, you're doing everything in the gym and you're not seeing results. That's going to lead back to nutrition. If you are on you can have the best workout program in the world that fits you perfectly and leads you straight to gaining lean muscle mass that you need, that you desperately need. If you are not fueling it, it still won't happen. And moving past that fear of eating well and understanding that, again, it's like you can accept it or you can fight it, but eating as little as possible is not helping you. You need to eat appropriately. And what that means is going to differ. You can't give a broad spectrum diagnosis for this many calories, 1,200 calories. This is a bad food, this is a good food. What is always, the only thing that you can say always about with nutrition is that you should only be eating foods that you like in appropriate amounts and frequencies, also fit your current health and fitness goals. So what that means to the individual is going to be varied and not a catch-all, not a one size fits all. All those meal plans and just different, like, throw things out there like, eat this for 6 days and incinerate your belly fat. Literally, they belong in the bottom of the trash. It
Yeah.
is so dependent on the individual's current body composition. Again, what foods do you like? Because no, it I mean, it could be a Great meal plan. If it has bell peppers in every meal, I'm not eating it.
Yeah.
It has to be foods that you like, and it also has to include foods that fit you, your culture, your traditions, your lifestyle. It can't always be chicken and broccoli and brown rice. It's just not effective. It's
Yeah.
just not effective long term. And it's not even, that's not even a good life, because as much as we want to tell ourselves the only thing we care about is losing this fat, if we don't feel good and we're not happy, it literally doesn't matter how much fat we have if we're just a miserable broccoli fed toad. We don't care.
Yeah, that's true. And I think with what you said about it's so individualistic, I can see both sides of the story of like someone listening to that being like, oh, yay. But also at the same time, like, ugh, like one more thing for me to figure out. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, correct me if I'm wrong, a really good place to start is what you just said is start, like, make a list of the foods you actually like. Are there
Yep.
better versions of that? Are there higher protein versions of that? And
Start with your
go from there.
protein
Yeah.
always, and figure out it, figure out, and yes, you are going to have to put effort into it, whether that be getting a
Yeah.
coach or researching it yourself. I mean, nothing good comes easy. Nothing. And as a, if you're over 35, you should know that. You should know that nothing worth having is going to come to you easy. So do what you need to do to figure that out, but figure it out and then figure out a way to make it work for you. And don't look at it as like, oh, I need to just eat clean, or I need to stay under this amount of calories. Like, no, be smarter, be more diligent than that. How much protein should I be eating? What do I think my really healthy first goal weight is? Do I need to lose fat to get to that? Do I need to gain muscle to get to that? What do I want it to be comprised of? And then you start your work. Um, but just like trying to eat less, never eating after, not eating until noon, no carbs after lunch, like that's not going to get you anywhere. It truly is not. It will maybe for a little while put you in some kind of like caloric deficit
Yeah.
just by taking things away from you, but you will figure out a way around that. The true
Mm-hmm.
change comes when you figure out, like, this is what I like to eat. And this is what it looks like in the amounts and frequencies where I can have it, but also be on track to my fitness goals. So if you love pizza, if you love pizza, it's your favorite food in the world, but you refuse to figure out a way so that you can eat it once or twice a week and stay on track, it's always this forbidden fruit that
Yeah.
when you get it, it's like the one time you get this thing. And so you eat the whole large pizza instead of being more moderate and well fed, calm and secure. I mean, like, 2 times a week we have pizza night, and then I like to have the leftovers the next day for breakfast because I love cold pizza. So
Ugh.
4 pieces of pizza a week. That works for me, and this is what it looks like in the rest of my day and the rest of my week, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
That's the approach you want to take.
I just made a TikTok video about this. I should post it on my Instagram so you can see it. But I was sitting and eating my lunch yesterday and I was like, this is a good little TikTok video. And it was I was eating, basically just saying like, I'm sitting here eating a big bowl of buffalo covered nuggets. And this is one of my favorite lunches in the world, my little bitty ranch. But then my next sentence was like, but you probably wouldn't have guessed that I'm like in a calorie deficit. I'm achieving these goals, but I've weighed out every single gram of this
Hmm.
chicken and this ranch. It's like the whole bowl was 37 grams of protein. And I'm freaking happy right now because this is my
Yeah,
favorite thing to
because
eat.
you like to eat it, but again,
Yeah.
you just were like, the juice is, you want results. That's a juice, you want results. You're in a
Yeah.
fat loss phase right now, so that's the squeeze, is not only eating grilled chicken and asparagus. The squeeze is adjusting the amounts and being aware of how much is in it so that it also fits your goals,
Yeah. There
right?
was actually a
That's the
comment.
squeeze.
There was a comment somebody said, they're like, oh, only one layer of nuggets? That looks like self restraint to me. I was like, that's so true.
Whatever.
Because the other
Well, yeah, it is
one
self-restraint.
layer of
You know
nuggets,
what
I'm
I
like,
mean?
that's part of it. Because I was also talking about in the video, like, it doesn't look like a healthy food. It's not this like decadent salad with all these vegetables. Like,
Hmm.
it's more than just that. She's like, comment was so funny. She's like, I don't know, one layer of nuggets looks pretty healthy to me.
But that could be self-restraint. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
For
is. Uh-huh.
somebody that it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love nuggets, but one layer, one layer twice a day instead of two layers twice a day.
Yeah.
That's called management. Restriction is I can't eat nuggets, I'm trying to lose weight. That's
Yeah.
restriction. Management is adjusting the amounts and the frequency. And
Amen.
that's it. I mean, and you know what? Get over it.
Literally.
Literally move on.
um, can you, speaking of like the menopausal part of it, like how a high protein diet and being well fed helps with your hormonal balances?
It is the most important thing. It is more important than biohacking. It's more important than even, honestly, even hormone replacement. Your nutrition and having a good amount of lean muscle mass is going to help regulate all of your systems, right? Instead of focusing on one system, just know that your hormones are all very dependent on each other in the right amounts and proportions. So, that goes back to being metabolically healthy. When we are metabolically healthy, meaning our amount of muscle mass and body fat, our body composition is in a super great place. And honestly, it needs to be in what is considered a super great place. And I mean, my clients are the proof. When you attack that as your first initiative into balancing your hormones. And you look at them as a reflection of your energy level, your sleep performance, all of these things. When you attack that body composition, you don't have to really do nearly as much. And even when you do, a lot of times, like the more natural supplements that are not prescription grade, are plenty to help you through the fluxes that come with and I mean I'm a fan of bioidentical hormone replacement. I absolutely talk to my clients about that all the time. I've spent time and money to get certified in that to be able to speak knowledgeably about what blood work looks like and all the different things. But again, so much comes back to lifestyle. But that does lead us to
Yeah.
something that becomes actually is more important for perimenopausal, menopausal women, and that is the rest it. The rest it. So BFR, bust it, feed it, rest it. And acknowledging, again, not like, you know, just deciding it's true. No, it's true. Let me know when you are ready to accept it. That recovery is imperative. And what I always remind people of that just don't even really kind of understand it. Like, I could do extra cardio, coach. I could do more. I can lift 5 days a week. I can, do 15,000 steps a day, like whatever it is. And understanding that the stimulus happens in the gym. We introduce the stimulus, hopefully in the form of progressive overload, to where you are putting more demand on the muscles that you want to grow to build out your glutes, your shoulders, whatever it is, your abs, your legs, your arms. We put the stimulus on it in the gym. The improvement happens when we let those muscle groups recover. So if we're constantly overdoing it, taxing it, using calling them active rest days where we like run or go to
That's
like
so
these
stupid. I
fitness
hate that
classes.
word.
I know. And even do like things like, well, I'm just going to do Pilates. It's not just doing Pilates. You're not allowing the muscles and your central nervous system to recover. You're keeping yourself in that fight or flight. When we want to move into the parasympathetic, the rest and digest, and let the body recover, let everything come down back to homeostasis, and then we BFR it again. Not viewing rest as lazy or wasted time is
Yeah.
really hard for women that are on fire for their goals. I get it. This is so funny the other day because if you ever think you just because your coach is a coach, they have it all together. Not so much. Because we just all get caught up in our big goals. And, for me, I get to a point where I'm like, I'm going to do it or die trying. And my cardio, like I am 8 days away from my competition. And like over a week ago, all of my cardio got cut out. All of it. I've been doing intentional cardio movement since January. It is July.
Oh. Oh yeah.
And
Big change.
it wasn't even a lot. It was to me it wasn't a lot. It was like 6 times a week for 32 minutes, like just walking. But that's how I started my day. Got up, got on my treadmill, woke up, drank my liter, that was my routine. Snatch, it's gone. And I was like, and like it just really got me. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. I'm going to use that time. I'm going to spend more time outside. I already walk my dogs every morning. I'm just going to walk a few extra laps to get that movement in. Casey sends me a video,
She
texts me
says,
a video. She says, hey, and like I hadn't said anything to her. I just am like, yeah, it's cool. I'll just, bring it, make sure I'm calm and just walking slow and just getting that sunlight and everything. And she's like, hey, I know you've been doing cardio for a long time, and I know you probably feel like it's missing and you're a little bit worried about it with the competition so close. Don't do extra walking or outdoor time. I was like, are you a witch?
"Are you
Like, how
here?
did you
What?
know
She's in the
that?
bushes."
Yes. But it's just like,
Yeah.
yes, I get it. That's what I'm saying is I get that. Like, I can do more. I can be better. I don't want to rest. So that means I don't have to. And that's not necessarily true. What matters most is following your protocol that works best for you, not what your fight or flight brain is saying, not what your panic reflex is
Yeah.
saying, not what your previously held beliefs are telling you. If you want different, do different and be brave enough sometimes to stop yourself.
Yeah, that's like a big because sometimes I'll feel the pull of like, old beliefs and old mindsets, not necessarily with doing more because once I hit that 10,000 steps, my ass is on the ground. You carry me around. But once in a while, like I have had those moments very rarely where I will feel that pull of like, maybe I should just do a little like extra, like 15,000 steps. And I'll be like the splittest second later, but like, who are you?
For
No.
what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for what?
Yeah, that's not who I am. You're lazy, Caitlin. Well, not lazy, but you like to be on the
Yeah.
couch.
There's time for that too, right?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, the Christines of the world would be like totally
Well,
opposite.
it's not even that they're, I think that a part of the curriculum were like, I wish that that felt good to me, but it like just doesn't. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
posting up on the couch too.
yeah. What we mean by the Christines of the world are the women who just don't
Go, go,
stop.
go, 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 go,
Don't
go, 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 go.
stop. The Mind Pump, the podcast.
Uh-huh.
There was an episode a while back that where they had somebody call in for a coaching question, and I can't remember what her original question was, but the only thing that I remember was they asked her how many steps she gets in. She's like, oh, 30, 40,000 a day.
What does she work in an airport?
They were like, you are doing too much. Because I think she wanted, I think it was physique related. And like, you are doing way too much. When
Way too much.
when the call ended, they're like, it's rare that I actually heard someone who gets that much steps unless you're like a mailman or somebody like
Mm.
that kind of job. And I think she was a
Or
student.
you're on vacation in Europe or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Like who, why, how also are you
So
sleeping?
I saw a post of this girl who was like, I think she looked young and just like really thin. Like, like not, for me, I'm going to look for muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's interesting to me is like muscled out physiques. And she was like my what did it say? Like my non-negotiables. It was insane. It was like 100 crunches every day.
Ugh, that's a
Walk my
lie.
dogs for a mile, 15,000 steps, and it went on and on, and it was like this song,
Ugh.
and I just am like, quit, like join like a forum. Don't put this out here for people to think, oh, this is what I gotta do to be skinny.
That's
I
awful.
could never,
The
you
things people do
know.
for clickbait or just attention, I
I wish I
can't
could
believe that.
remember it all. It was great. I mean, it went on. It was like an hour of meditation. Like it was like,
Yeah, right.
my dude, you don't got to do all that
No, even God is like, come on, let's
because that's all you do. All you do is this checklist. You know what I'm saying? And I have a checklist. It's got like 5 things on it.
yeah, max.
Yeah, I'm a five. I like five. I like 5 things I got to get, and it changes. It's not even every day. Like, I mean, my training and stuff is not on there because, like, let's be real, Mama gonna do it. We don't have to worry about that. But like, there's 5 things where I'm
Yeah.
like, do this for social media. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. But good Lord, have mercy. It does not need to be like that.
It does not. So don't, if you see a post like that, don't, and you think it's ridiculous, it is. Don't listen to it. Don't be influenced. Right?
No, that's very much a you do you, boo. Because
Yeah.
no.
Um, okay, we're nearing the end. Do you have, I know I'm kind of pouncing this on you. Do you have any tough love for us today? Off the top of
Um,
your head? Hmm.
always.
Okay.
You
Give it
just
to
tell me
me.
what direction you want to go. What do you want it to be about? Tough love on. You
Anything.
throwing it
What's on your
back.
mind? What's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's on my mind since you asked me. Is in I like habit stacking, right? I like for people that feel overwhelmed by fitness to pick one thing and implement it, and then pick another thing that kind of is complementary to that, and then we can start really stacking things up. What happens when you let that first brick crumble? Everything else crumbles on top of it. And so, my tough love today is stop giving yourself so much slack. Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself and telling yourself you need rest from things that are making you better. So, an
Hmm.
example would be is if you are chronically getting up late, you're hitting snooze, you're sleeping through your alarm, you're not getting up to do your workout or whatever it is that you have, it has been decided this needs to happen early in the morning. And the reason is because you're tired, which is usually why people have a hard time getting up. They're freaking tired.
Hello.
Yeah, but and then so you establish like I'm getting in bed at 9 p.m. I'm putting my phone away across the room. Like you establish a habit of getting in bed away from screens at 9 p.m. because you need to get up at 5 a.m. So you need to be all the way asleep at least by 10 to get your 7 hours, right? And that's bare minimum, bare
Yeah.
minimum.
Oh.
And so you do that for a week. And then your next habit is like, cool, I got in bed every day at 9 this week, even on the weekends. Like it was really hard and I did it. And so we stack the habit of, okay, now I want you to start getting some movement in 30 minutes of just movement, walking, whatever it is. I want you to do that first thing in the morning and drink your water then because your water is a problem. Cool. But then the next week, you scroll Instagram until 9:30 and then 10. And you start sleeping with your phone by your bed. And so now we're not sleeping until after 10. And then guess what? The
Yeah.
alarm starts to get flipped. Like
It's a
stop
house of cards.
letting stop letting those things go that work for you. You don't need rest from things that make you better. You need rest from
Okay. Yes.
workouts. You need rest from things that fatigue you, like your job. That's what weekends are for. Weekends are not to undo healthy habit. And I get it, like in a way I get it, like because I've been there before, but if you keep letting those foundational things go, you're going to build nothing. You're not going to get fit staying up scrolling Instagram until midnight. You're not. You're not going to get fit sleeping through your alarm every morning and entering your day in fight or flight. There will be no planning and no intention there, and that's what fitness requires, planning and intention. And so that's my tough love, is stop being like, well, it's the only when I hear it all the time.
It's a good reminder. Yeah.
It's the only time I get alone. Okay. If you want alone time, you know what's alone time is early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
And it's also productive.
Yeah.
Late at nighttime alone time is not productive. I don't want to hear it. I know
You're
there's
right,
one
yeah.
out of 1,000 people that like work on their book or whatever after 9 p.m. It's not you. You're not doing that. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Go to bed and have your alone time when it is also conducive to your health and fitness.
Yeah,
if that's your goal.
That's good. Yeah. Well, that's like really good reminder. You're right. Well, thank you, Lindsay. I know you have to pop off. So follow us on the gram, the talk, the Facebook, all that. But okay. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.